Thank you, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between for tuning in to another episode of Nerd Up. This week, I've got the big D, Dalton Anthony.
Yo.
We got Asa Gray, the 5-star man.
All 5.
And I'm your host, Jesse Kimball. And we are live on Facebook. For those of you guys that still have not gotten this, every other Monday, except for, of course, the last one, because I had a messed up tooth. I'll just leave it at that. But every other Monday, whenever we do Nerd Up, we're live at 5:30 on Facebook. You can come hang out with us in the comments, chill out with us on the pre-show, look at Dalton making goofy faces while he's playing with his cat.
She's on the other side of the room. If you were in the super early pre-show, you did get to see all of Maisie just being the best kitty. And then she...
I love how much you've turned on that cat. Because originally you're like, oh, it's adorable, but it's a little butthead.
Oh, no, she's still a little butthead, but, she was being adorable, so the buttheadness wasn't there. It's two different things.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Alright. On to the actual content here. We got an official title for the new Spider-Man movie. This one's going to be No Way Home.
Are we homed out on these Spider-Man titles?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't me. I know it's going to be good, because it's the Spider-Man, and they've just done great with those movies.
Hey, so you had a look on your face not me.
You're just they can say home 5 more times.
I mean, I feel like it's got, well, one, we kind of already know it's going to be a trilogy. There could be more movies, but I feel like after the third movie, that's when they'll move away from the naming conventions. But
yeah,
the whole
I would
trilogy.
be much more annoyed if it was Homecoming, Far From Home, Multiverse. And it wasn't home. Then, because that would make me itchy. Now, if there is a Spider-Man 4 and it is
another home thing,
and it is another home movie, then okay, we've already got a word in common with all of these movies, and it's Spider-Man, so we don't need to keep it going. But for a trilogy, it's like when you get the box set, or when you don't get a box set of a movie series, and all of the titles and directors are not in the same alignment.
Ooh. Or even when you do get the series, I remember the one of the more famous ones was Psych. No, it was Monk. It was Monk. The show about a detective with super OCD, and one of the season tapes had the numbering different in different spots. Mm-hmm. Every other one was exactly the same. It's
that's pretty good. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homies.
That's
all right, the fourth one could be called Homies.
Yeah, if it's Homies on 4, okay. I'm good.
So it's not this movie. It's the fourth movie. Is the live-action Spider-Verse, and it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man, All My Homies.
Yeah, no, here for it. I like
it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Spider-Man, All My Homies, and it's a Spider-Verse.
Since we're talking about this, did you see that Tom Holland said that Tobey Maguire now and Andrew Garfield are not going to be in this?
As Marvel put a gun to his head saying, say something that isn't true for once.
Because Tom Holland is the absolute... I'm surprised... Okay, I'm not surprised. Part of me is dreading the MCU firing Tom Holland because of how many things he's accidentally spoiled.
No, at this point they lean into it. Because it was him...
Part of his adorable charm.
Him, Zendaya, and the actor who plays Ned all posted different possible titles on their Instagrams or Twitters or so, on social media.
It was Instagram. How many times do you think Tom Holland did that before it became adorable, though? Because, it made him mad a couple times.
It absolutely did.
Yeah.
And you can hear him do interviews where he's like, yeah, now that the amount that they tell me is less than the amount that they used to tell me. So it's possible that the version of the script that he has does not involve Garfield and Maguire. But they're still going to be there.
He's like, I'm looking at the script right here. They're not in it.
This says Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man, so I don't know why you guys are talking about these other losers.
I don't know what the little weird symbols next to their name mean, but I'm assuming it's all me.
I will say, and this was adorable, apparently, and I don't know if it was him saying this or one of the producers or people on set, but apparently they had to Nathan Drake him on the set of Spider-Man because he was acting not like Peter Parker. He was acting like Nathan Drake, who are very wildly different people. So it's no, you got to remember, you are a nerdy high school kid with no confidence, not walking bravado machine Nathan Drake anymore.
Walking sex appeal.
I have never played an Uncharted game.
He can still be walking sex appeal, you just can't know it.
Yeah. But I've never watched an Uncharted, or I've never played an Uncharted game, and I'm super excited for this movie just because Tom Holland's in it.
I want to go
me?
through and play I beat the first one on PS4, and I enjoyed it. But apparently, like 2 and 3 were way better, like every way. So I want to go back and I want to replay the first one because it's been so long, and then I want to play the last 3.
Apparently 3 is an absolute work of art.
Mm-hmm.
But
so was 4. Like I don't. Apparently, all of those games are. It turns out, and bear with me here because this is going to be wild. But Naughty Dog is good at making video games.
Don't believe you.
They're good at telling a story.
It's wild, man. I don't know.
What game did I play of theirs recently?
Last of Us?
Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter.
That's what it was. I played the Insane trilogy.
Hmm.
Because I think it was like on PS Collection or whatever.
The Instant Game Collection or what have you.
Yeah.
So, the next bit. We finally got a trailer for the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Did you guys watch this?
I did not.
I know Dalton had, because Dalton is a huge Mighty Ducks fanboy.
Oh, they're so good. I watched them recently whenever we were it was either during Ice or Snowpocalypse, one of the two, but I watched all 3 back to back to back, and it was great.
I love the first one.
You know what? I understand that, and you're right. 2, I think, is better than 1. 3 is a hot dumpster fire that didn't need to get made. But
I was going to say, I liked 2 a whole lot. I just remember 3 being awful.
3 is fine if you're really committed to the characters in 2. Because, like, they do carry over a lot of those USA team kids. And, like, it's fine. It's good. It's what it is.
Because I remember they kept the redneck.
Yeah, and I think they kept the Cat, the goalie. They kept her, and then they kept the other Bash brother, which that's the greatest character they introduced in any of the movies because it gave Fulton his buddy, and they were just fun. I wanted to be them when I grew up. I didn't, not even close. I'm not even one of the fans. I don't even like watching hockey, but those movies are so good.
They're a lot of fun. So we got a trailer for this, and it looks like now the Mighty Ducks, this is obviously years after the third one, the Mighty Ducks are now this huge franchise Little League team or whatever with, like, a record number of championships. Basically, they're exactly what they were built to, like, fight in the first place. And I love that Riley from Letterkenny is the coach.
It's gonna be so good.
That makes me really happy.
It's gonna be awful. I know it is. It's not gonna be Cobra Kai. I want it to be Cobra Kai I've watched season 1. I want it to be Cobra Kai
finally.
bad. Yeah, I know it's not gonna be that. It's gonna break my heart, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, I'm still looking forward to Emilio Estevez is coming back for it.
What they should do, if they were brave and not a bunch of cowards,
and not on Disney Plus,
they should Wet Hot American Summer it. You know what I'm talking about? Where they make a sequel years later, but they just pretend everyone's the exact same age as when they made the original.
But yeah, they're clearly aged up.
So
and
they're clearly bring
so you have a bunch of 40-year-olds
playing in a little league hockey team. So
I would absolutely love to watch Keenan out there just still like skating around, yelling, "It's knuckle puck time!"
Yes, you would.
Oh man,
it would be great.
Yeah, how do you say 2 is not better than 1? It gave us Kenan Thompson again. Kenan Thompson was in so many great early to mid 90s Disney films. Heavyweights? Brother. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
He was also in a really good episode of Hot Ones recently.
Yeah, I watched that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm. Nice. They're still doing it remotely, so he's doing it out of his house, but it's...
Yeah, he crushed that challenge, too.
He did. He went back.
Yeah, he did.
He went back.
He's like, well, I got another wing, so...
I'm here, so... All right.
Yeah, no, I like Keenan a lot. That's a good dude. But yeah, the trailer looked really cool. I actually really like... I'm kind of hyped for this show. I didn't think I would be, but I'm a little hyped for it.
I think the only other Mighty Ducks, the person that might be a bigger Mighty Ducks fan than me in the group is Tanner. But it's close, if that. This is one of those things that nobody asked for. They shouldn't make it, but God, I'm happy they are.
I'm not saying this to be a contrarian. I'm not saying this to be difficult, I swear, or to be like some weird hipster cred. But I liked the Mighty Ducks less after the animated series.
Really?
Because the animated series...
Oh, you mean with the ducks?
Where they were actual superhero ducks who flew out of like a duck-shaped hockey mask mountain. Like, I loved that show so much.
Oh, yeah.
as a kid.
That was every bit like that was exactly like every other show going on at that point, like Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks.
Somebody was doing Molly in these shows and we're just like, I got an idea.
And bless him, put him back on the wagon to give me more weirdo nonsense like gargoyles because I want it. And
Asa,
so
that
after
person
watching
died.
a team of super-powered anthropomorphic ducks fight crime and save the world, I don't care about a chubby kid playing hockey and Charlie Sheen's brother. Like, whatever. This isn't entertaining to me.
Charlie
The
Sheen's more
animated series
talented
back.
brother.
Yeah, I was about to ask, is like Emilio Estevez is definitely the better actor, right?
Emilio!
Because like he had to work with kids and be awesome, and he did for 2 and 1/4 of a movie. Because he was only in that last one for a minute.
That's true.
But
I also wonder if anybody other than Asa just got that Emilio line.
I appreciated it.
was
I want to go back and rewatch that. I need to. It's on Hulu.
I'm gonna take a guess. Was it Scrubs? Was it a Scrubs reference that
No,
I just
it
didn't?
It
know?
wasn't.
Oh,
It's not a
okay. What
Scrubs
was it?
reference.
It was not a Scrubs reference.
What was it?
You're close in the sense that it was from a television program.
Super Show or
Nope. Okay,
Superstore?
we're moving on.
Yep. Hey, you got one more guess.
You tell me.
Tell you what,
Nope.
not live action. I'll give you that.
Oh, I have no idea then.
All right. Nickelodeon launches Avatar Studios.
We're both doing the
This
same
is cool.
Facebook for a different reason.
This is super cool because the animated series rules. I
Yes.
know, I understand that I'm like 15 years late to that party. I still need to watch Korra. I really want to, but I also know like there's a bunch of stuff that I'm playing and doing, and I'm just like I need to give Korra the time it deserves because Avatar required energy that I was not expecting it to require.
Because the show is so absurdly good.
It's so good, and by all accounts, this live action show that Netflix is doing is going to be Dragon Ball Evolution levels of bad, because the original creators who were working on it are like
They bounced.
failed because
Yeah.
they wanted to put too much of an emphasis on the romance between characters, and it's just like we don't need any of that. So now they're doing an actual studio dedicated to telling stories in this universe, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, and not only that, but the chief creative officers are the original creators of Avatar, Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. So yeah, that's incredible news, because that was what had me really excited about the live action one in the first place, is because those two guys were tied to it. They were going to be in charge of the story. They're going to be, the creative officers there. But then they were like, all right, so they said they wanted us, but apparently they didn't actually care about our opinions. So
they
we
wanted
bounced.
our names to be attached to it so the internet wouldn't immediately crap all over a beloved franchise.
Yeah.
It's-
Because that got added to Netflix, and immediately, like, Avatar: The Last Airbender, I remember was trending top 10 on Netflix for an entire month. Mm-hmm. Like, it was insane. And then Korra hit, and it did the exact same thing. I don't like Korra as much as The Last Airbender. I really, really like it. It's really, really good, but I don't like it quite as much as The Last Airbender. And yeah, it's still, like, a month just on the top 10 on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Both of those shows are so good. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. We already know, like, they're doing a new show. They're going to start on a new animated feature film. They're going to start production on that actually later this year. And I'm hyped for it.
That's cool.
Please and thank you.
Yes, I need to watch Korra. I need to start watching that instead of rewatching Criminal Minds. I'm almost
you
through
do.
I'm almost through what they have on Netflix. So
Then you're going to have to get Paramount Plus.
I'm not doing that. I am
We
not
have
getting
it.
a new streaming service just for the last 3 seasons of Criminal Minds. It's not going to happen.
I got one for just The Office, so you'd be in the same boat as me. Although it's
Hey,
getting the network.
Yeah, I'm
That
getting
was
that one
the-
soon.
Yeah, it was convenient.
Well, there will be news on that on Wednesday, actually, by the way, for Pro Wrestling Unscripted.
Oh, spoiler
Right here
alert.
on the Podzilla1985.com.
Oh, well, here
That's
we go.
not where we are right now, but I meant to say the Podzilla 1985 network, and I screwed it up.
That's fine.
It's fine. No one's watching this. I can do whatever I want.
Worst case scenario, we'll tell Ciro to start telling us of fun transaction histories like we did in the pre-show.
All right.
Implicate yourself again.
We need
So-
material.
Blue Beetle is officially getting a movie. So the DC character, it will be Jaime Reyes. and
Okay.
it's going to be directed by Angel Manuel Soto. So I guess that's cool. Like, I like Blue Beetle. I don't know if he warrants like a feature film by himself.
How about we get a Batman movie that doesn't suck?
Oh, that'd be
We
great.
have 3 of them, so we've actually got more than 3, and we're getting another one, by the way. So
Well, yeah, that's true. That one might not suck. Yeah, that one's on the way.
that the Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
with
hopefully that one's good. No, my thing is like, there's so much world building that they need to do in these that they just don't care to. It's the thing. Justice League would have been great if we would have had 8 movies before it.
So
Like-
I want to real quick. Because speaking of Justice League, and this kind of ties into that, I promise. Because I think Jaime Reyes is a really cool character.
He is. Yeah,
And
no.
As
like,
a standalone, if this is a standalone movie featuring Blue Beetle, maybe with some fun DC nods thrown in, I am 100% on board with this. But DC, as an entity, has to. They just have to figure out what they're doing with this movie universe. Do they want it tied together? There's still rumors that, like, oh, we're getting a new Superman. Oh, actually, Henry Cavill might be Superman again. Oh, well, it's not all tied together anymore. It's a mess, and they need to get that straightened out first and foremost. Secondly,
And Zero, real quick, it will be DCEU. It's a live-action film.
so
And
go ahead.
no, that was it. I
Oh, I
was
thought you
just saying
said
that
I thought you said and then
I may have.
it's fine. This is the downside to doing the remote podcast. But with the Snyder Cut, I was harsher on that than necessary. Because I have recently learned, and I sent it to... I don't know if I sent it to Shannon or if I posted on one of the pages here. But apparently, because we were talking about it on something, and it turns out that Joss Whedon pretty much filmed and wrote the Justice League that we got.
Mm-hmm.
He'd used very, very, very little of what Zack Snyder, Zack Snyder actually shot. Hence, terrible CG Superman mustache. He was already done filming for Zack Snyder when he started to do the Mission Impossible movie, and then had to come back for reshoots for Joss Whedon. So, Snyder's movie is potentially entirely different than what we ended up getting. There's
I'd be fine with that.
So I'm not excited for it. I'm not going to say that I'm excited for it, but I'm more interested in seeing it.
Yeah, no, this will be something I might actually watch instead of completely skipping.
Because I thought this was going to... My original thought is it's just like, oh, you're going to tack on an extra hour of garbage onto what Joss Whedon's movie was. But it turns out this is actually potentially going to be an entirely different movie. And I don't know why they're not marketing that, making that messaging more clearly.
Yeah, I don't either.
I need to see if I can find that post, because I saw it on Reddit, so it has to be true.
It's the internet. It's got to be right.
yeah, you
Nobody
can't
would
lie
go
on
on the
the
internet and just tell lies.
Well,
but
you can't
Either
legally.
way, I like Blue Beetle a lot. I don't know. He doesn't have a lot of Blue Beetle's best stories, and I guess that's something they could fix. Like, tell me a good story with just Blue Beetle, because a lot of like his best stories out there have been like in either team up books or like I really liked his role in Young Justice. I thought it was really, really cool. Mm-hmm. He had like some great stories with Booster Gold and stuff like that, but like I can't think of any like really good solo stories from Blue Beetle that we've gotten in the past.
But it's worth noting, too, the Blue Beetle stories that are fantastic with Booster Gold, that's Ted Cord. That's not Jaime.
Oh, you're right.
So that's a whole, like, so...
Yeah,
it's
that's a whole new thing.
And,
A whole
that could
different
be
thing.
a wrinkle that they do, like, is Ted Corden going to be involved with this?
They could just straight Ant-Man it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could give us both. Where, they introduced Hank Pym, like, yeah, no, he's Blue Beetle a long time ago. And now we got Jaime Reyes.
And let me just put in emphasis always Ant-Man movies, because those are always fun. Just do it. Just follow that model. Honestly, give me an Ant-Man movie as Blue Beetle. I know it's different power sets, and that's not how that works. But yeah, let's do it. I'll watch it.
I also wonder if they're going to go with, like, the Young Justice, like, alien technology thing and all that stuff, or if they want to do... There's a lot of things they could do with it that would be kind of neat. So...
It's one of those things that it's a really weird choice for a live-action movie. Because there's so much ground that I have questions about, because I've either, they didn't answer enough. And it's like, okay, we'll just go off to nowhere. It's not like Marvel where I'll trust them. Be like, we just had Infinity War. Well, yeah, I'll take a trip back to the 90s because y'all hit so hard. Like,
well,
DC
also
hasn't earned that for me.
It's also a market that neither Marvel or DC has hit yet, like the Hispanic market.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Because there's not really been either in the DCEU or the MCU. So like that could be what their goal is tapping a market that hadn't been hit yet. Like hit it before the MCU, though they did, like, I think they announced America Chavez for the MCU, didn't they?
Maybe.
Or am I making that up?
There's like 1,000 things getting ready, so I can't.
Yeah, they announced like 50 million things all at once, and I don't remember if they announced America Chavez or not.
Also,
I thought it was like one of the animated TV shows. Like I didn't think it
like
was
a What If?
MCU.
Yeah,
it might have been
right.
Legends or What If or something like that.
Yeah, but anyway, it's cool that, like, I want more superhero movies, and like so far with the DCEU stuff, the less they care about the character, the better the movie has been. So, well, I say that Birds of Prey ended up being phenomenal.
That's true.
And they care a whole lot about Harley Quinn. So
Shazam, they cared. Shazam was pretty good.
Yeah, I like Shazam quite a bit, and they do not. Exactly. That was the first movie that came to mind, and then I thought of Birds of Prey. I'm like, oh, but Birds of Prey was really good.
And just because they care about a character doesn't mean it's going to be good. Look at Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no, that was my point there. Like, the more they care about the character, it seems like the worse the movie is.
And I think
it's
the
ultimately
DC,
if WB keeps their hands off of it.
Exactly. Yeah. There, that's the
because it's super. I don't think there's a rhyme or reason for it. I think it's literally the DCEU has had 2 or 3 indecisive movies amongst fans being like, is this good? 2 good movies, and then the rest just dumpster fires that people watch because Harley Quinn's in it. Like, Suicide Squad's not a good movie. And no. I can't justify how that's good. I still really like Batman v Superman, but I know it has its faults, so I'm okay with somebody saying, like, no, that wasn't good. Justice League is okay. And then, there's, like, so many movies, like, they lost me. I haven't watched Shazam yet. I haven't watched Birds of Prey. I own both of them, and I still haven't watched them.
You absolutely should watch Birds of Prey. It's really, really good.
But they made me not care.
No, I'm right there with you. I still haven't watched Joker. Apparently, by all reports, that's a phenomenal film.
Mm-hmm. I love DC Comics so much more than Marvel. Like, I love the characters in DC more than Marvel, like, comic book-wise. But, man, you can't beat the MCU. And they're not trying. They're doing every wrong step to even try to compete because they're like, Justice League after 2 movies. It's like, no, they did like 5, 6, 7 movies before we got Avengers. So we cared about these characters. Like, that Flash movie that we've been talking about for 3 decades now should have already came out. We should have gotten to Flash 3 by now.
Oh, we got more news about it.
It's lost in the Speed Force.
Sasha Cal will be Supergirl in the upcoming Flash film. Which means she'll never be Supergirl. But if, that movie ever hits, then...
It's not gonna. I've given up. I've given up hope. I don't
blame you. Like, it's... by the time that movie comes out, Ezra Miller will be old enough to play Golden Age Flash.
About to say old man Batman at this point. That's how long it's gonna be. He better pack on some muscle, because if you're gonna be old Batman, you better be old, buff, and beaten up.
No, he's gonna be Jay Garrick.
Why would Ezra Miller be Batman?
I don't know.
When he could be Jay Garrick.
That's true. He could be that too.
Yeah,
he
would be the Flash.
He's kind of big and busted up. Well, they're just giving the Batman role to everybody at this point.
Sonic 2 got a release date.
What do we got?
Be April 8th, 2022.
Did you guys like that movie?
With the Tails tease?
Yeah.
And the logo, so that's cool.
Oh, we got the Tails tease at the end of the first movie.
In fairness to me, didn't see the first movie.
I also haven't seen it.
Which not like I'm worried about spoilers for the friggin' Sonic movie, so don't worry about it there.
But Asa, the plot.
Don't you say Chaos Emerald?
It was. I like in the actual logo, you can see like the tails are actually there as the part of it too. So.
Yeah, so this spoiler at the very end of the first Sonic movie, Tails kind of zips in.
Oh, cool.
Do we actually get to see him? Like, is there a character design or
no? Just Tails.
Okay.
So part of his character design.
Yep. Yeah, you
was
got to see
that-
him flying around on tails.
Did you like the Sonic movie?
It was okay. Like,
'Cause, like-
it's worth watching. Like I think it's like streaming on Hulu if you want something to throw on in the background of doing something else.
Well,
by
I
all
think
means.
I think the issue is I'd actually want to watch it. Like, that's not a movie. Like, I'm actually kind of intrigued by it. I'll watch it before I watch Birds
Then
of
watch
Prey.
it. It's on Hulu.
Well, I just wanted to know if you thought it was good. I need your opinion first, Jesse.
Oh, yeah, it's worth watching.
Thank
I
you.
would not say that it's good, but it's worth watching.
Is it like it's an entertaining piece of cinema, but it's not a great movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I would say it's a decent rental.
That's cool. Yeah, no, because Suicide Squad I watched twice in theaters, so we've established that I'm fucking bad at making life choices. So
Well,
I watched it twice because I couldn't figure out if I liked it or not. It was that bad that I didn't know.
so Asa, I assume you want to talk about the Mortal Kombat movie real quick.
I do. I really do.
right,
I mean, I
well-
don't because I don't want to talk about it real quick. But dread
Well,
it.
here's the return of Ace's Mortal Kombat Minute, just in a different category.
Dread it, run from it. The Mortal Kombat minute is back. We got the trailer. We got the super awesome, amazing. Dalton, put your fucking phone down and listen to the gospel of Mortal Kombat.
My bad.
You know I can see you.
My bad. My bad.
Honestly, I think we should all just take a break from the show right now so we can all go back and rewatch the trailer because, oh my god, this is going to be the worst movie that I will ever love, like, and see 100 times. I understand. I don't care because holy crap, they did my boy Ermac dirty by
They did just about everybody dirty, especially Johnny Cage.
Okay, you're good. Hold on now.
This is his minute. This is his minute.
It's a minute. You all don't get to have. Because the Jax thing where he freezes the gun as the bullet is like exploding out. That, like, from that second, I was like, oh, this is the greatest piece of cinema since John Wick, and I'm going to love this with every fiber of my being. We got a ton of cool reveals. We got to see Melina. We got the giant-ass Shao Kahn statue. So maybe we'll get, like, an Annihilation right after, but it'll be good this time. Kano got his really terrible eye lasers, but I don't care. I still love it. Sonya Blade. It's just... this looks like it's just... it knows exactly what it is. Sub-Zero has the throw from Mortal Kombat 11. Like, he brings up the wall of ice and chucks Scorpion through it. Like, that is back LB.
He stabbed a motherfucker with his own blood.
Yes, which is a Scarlet move, but whatever. Like, he's froze, because Scarlet controls blood, he just froze the blood and shaped it into a knife. And it doesn't matter. It's awesome. It's so cool. How can you watch something like that? You can see Liu Kang pull the fire dragon from the ground. Goro is there. Now, yes, I firmly subscribe to the fact that Johnny Cage is a screen name, and Cole is Johnny Cage. Like, that's the Johnny Cage character.
Yeah.
He's gonna go through this movie and become so, like, cocky from being the hero that it turns into movie deals, and he turns into an action star, and he adopts the name Johnny Cage. Mm-hmm. Is that less fun than having basically The Miz be a established kung fu movie star? A little bit. But I am here for the long term. See, I'm playing 4D chess. Okay? I'm seeing 2 movies ahead. And it's amazing.
If they never made a World of Warcraft sequel, this movie's not getting a sequel.
Well, World of Warcraft was a trash-ass movie based off a trash-ass franchise that no one cares about. Mortal Kombat, everybody loves. Okay, you know what? I saw you squirm, but let's look at numbers. Okay, Jesse?
I wasn't squirming.
How many World of Warcrafts have there been?
He's got you there, dog.
Laughter is not
10.
an answer. I'm sorry. When did World of Warcraft 10 come out?
They're currently on... Oh, never mind. It's patch 9.02.
Oh.
No. Now that's a patch. Good,
Wow,
congratulations. Good job. You've updated the game 10 times. Cool. They've updated Mortal Kombat 11 10 times. Okay? Because there have been 11 Mortal Kombat games. Mm-hmm. Because people keep buying them. And people keep loving them. So
people keep buying them. And they get so, like, you read the forums, ain't nobody loving that game.
Mortal
It's
Kombat
all
11.
just
They hate
jaded-
playing it.
It's
I
all
love
just
Mortal
the
Kombat.
jaded. Okay, we're going to talk about hate playing in World of Warcraft. Sure, open that can of worms.
Got you there, dog.
And yeah, it's this section of the internet that's going to complain about everything. No one cares about those people. This movie isn't for those people. This movie is for people like me, who understand that I am getting the greatest B-movie action zombie nonsense with magical powers, and it's gonna be violent as hell. Because that Red Band trailer was violent as hell. And all character nonsense aside, I am genuinely really, really excited for this movie. I think it actually has a chance at being more than just a bad B-movie action flick. I think this could actually be good, and I'm letting myself believe.
Oh.
And Dalton knows. Dalton's seen me on PWU when I let myself believe. Nothing bad could happen.
Never.
This is going to be great. and
Nothing
I'm gonna
bad
love
can
it.
happen to this at all. I
will
do
say-
think that this movie is going to have, like, all joking aside, this is going to be a must-see in theaters because it's going to be a visual spectacle. It is going to be an absolute dumpster fire any other medium. Like, trying to stream that shit at home? Nope.
No, it's going to be
This
great.
this needs the full gigantic screen, huge sound system, amazing quality video, everything else. Like, it needs that theater situation.
I don't want to be around the people who are watching this movie in theaters.
The only person I would want to be around is Asa. Asa and Sadie, those are the only two people I want to watch this movie with.
Yeah.
I will say
Jesse,
I was...
it's a birthmark. What does that mean? It means he was born with it.
Jesus.
Okay. A plus movie right here. That's
I,
what we're getting.
I was kind of
This
up
movie's
my
going to
own-
be bad, and I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, I was kind of up my own ass about this like trailer being like I was scoffing at a lot of it until he stabbed him up with his own blood, and then I like I was at work on like my break ish, and I like had the door open and I like audibly yelled loud enough for the person next door to hear me because I was that excited about like, oh, this is gonna be cool. I don't know why that one little scene in the trailer was like, no, that's it, I'm in. You have my full price. Give me the $30 option to watch it at my house so I don't have to be around people.
The last part of the trailer features the original sound from they sample the music from the first movie, which we all know is the best movie music to ever be made.
That's true. It's pretty solid.
It's
I mean,
maybe
the
not
original,
best, but certainly most iconic. You can't name a single movie with,
every single person knows that Mortal Kombat theme.
yeah,
That's true,
name
yeah.
a single movie that has more iconic movie music than this one. See, you can't. You couldn't do it.
Yeah, we couldn't. In fairness, Asa
no-
was right. We couldn't do it because we had no time.
Yeah,
Because you couldn't do it. It's if you could do it easily and you would have had it ready to go.
All right, try it
Yeah.
again.
No, okay, now you've had like 30 seconds to think about it. No, that's pointless.
Okay.
No, I love this movie. I'm very excited for this movie because I've already seen it and I love it. So yeah,
This is the
Ace's gonna
John
be so
Wick
upset
thing.
when it's Suicide Squad.
It's not going to be
it
Suicide
can't be.
Squad. No.
it can't be that bad.
I feel like they've given
Like,
it
there's
more
no-
respect than
Warner
Suicide
Brothers
Squad
says,
did.
"Hold my beer."
Stop it,
the,
Jesse.
The director who is making this is like apparently a huge fan of Mortal Kombat. So one, we've already got that going for it. Two, no.
Yeah,
Like, there's
Warner
a
Brothers
running
says, "Hold
bit
my
of
beer." Like,
there's a running gag on Kind of Funny that Greg Miller swears that Batman v Superman was not a bad movie. And when that trailer initially dropped, he said in their reactions, "There's no way this movie can be bad. Look how good this looks. There's no way this can be that bad."
Then they had to tell a story.
And it's not going to be... there's no chance in hell that it's Suicide Squad levels of bad. No chance in hell.
you got it, buddy.
I do got it. I am, yes. We
This
are
next
all,
portion
we are
of our
all on the same
podcast
page.
is brought to you by our wonderful friends at Villainous Grounds in Perryville, Missouri. Stop by there for all of your comic book and coffee needs. Also, if you're not from around here, hit them up on villainousgrounds.com. They actually have most of their inventory up there. You can actually order, they'll ship out to you. And they take great care with shipping their stuff, so hit them up. Not a lot of, like, there's a lot of, like, industry news and a whole lot of stuff about, like, Reborn and stuff like that, but not a whole lot of, like, real comic book news. We did get a trailer for the new Aliens comic book coming from Marvel, which looks kind of cool. It's going to follow the story of Gabriel Cruz, a new character. He's a mercenary, so this is well after the first Alien films. I'm not sure. I was trying to find out if it was based on the older comic or not, and mixed answers on that one. But it's going to hit later this month, March 24th. Philip Kennedy Johnson and Salvador LaRocca are the creative team. So make sure you guys check that out. And I'm sure once Heroes Reborn actually hits, we're going to talk more about it. Because I know Asa and Dalton are both dying to see more about that Night Gwen picture I sent them.
Yeah, my initial thought was like, holy shit, is DC and Marvel doing another crossover?
Nope.
Because that name is a very DC Marvel crossover.
Oh yeah, they absolutely took. And they absolutely took like a full Nightwing pose and everything.
Don't like it.
It's.
No,
I thought the picture was cool. One of the things that I saw was like there's a lot of cocaine and Valley Girl stuff in this. Like this, it sounds very interesting.
I do have a last minute entrant into the comic book side of news that I completely forgot about until you said.
Yeah, what you got?
Late week. God of War Fallen God #1 is apparently coming out on Wednesday. It is a comic written by Chris Robertson with art done by Tony Parker, and it is setting. It takes place between God of War 3 and the 2018 God of War.
Ooh. Get some information to fill you in on what happened there. That'd be kind of cool.
If we don't get the panel of him hiding the Chaos Blades, it's not worth it.
And it's done by Dark Horse, so.
There you go. All right, on to video games. Which there has been like a lot of video game stuff over the last month, but we covered a lot of the stuff in the couple of After Darks we've had since then, because we didn't do a Nerd Up 2 weeks ago because again, tooth problems, and I'm glad that it's not resolved yet, but I'm no longer in extreme pain. So,
dude, tooth pain is the worst. Asa and I can both attest on that, and no, you're good. You don't even have to say anything about that, baby.
Bad. It was real bad.
Because what you said about yours sounded very familiar about mine, except like you went at a responsible time instead of waiting for it to be so bad that they have to call in the surgeon on his day off to be like, hey, come fix this dude.
Oh,
because he's screwed.
Oh my. All right, well, video game stuff. Let's stop talking about teeth because no, I'm good. Pokemon we got a Pokemon Direct. Gave us some interesting stuff. We finally got the confirmation for the Diamond and Pearl remakes. They'll be called Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And Lindsay's very excited.
Which one is Diamond and Pearl?
Diamond and Pearl is Gen 4.
Mm-hmm.
That was the... I don't remember what the...
Lugia.
Okay.
They were the cover Pokemon. Not Lugia. Dialga and... Palkia. Yes. The gods of space and time, I think, was their... they controlled... Yeah, I think it was space and time because... Earth and Ocean were Ruby and Sapphire, and those were Gen 3.
Yeah. I never played Diamond and Pearl, so I don't know anything about that generation.
Go ahead.
These were the gens that I really I definitely played them. I remember this one. I think it's this one. Is Cynthia is the big this fight sucks because it's so hard. I'm pretty sure this is her game, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
No idea.
This is when pretty much 3, 4, because then it went to X and Y. Was what was after?
No, after this one
Black
was
and White.
Black and White.
It was okay. Black and White I remember more of just because that one was it's all new Pokemon. They didn't reuse any Pokemon, and I remember that one a lot. Yeah, and then X and Y was so 3 and 4 are the ones I know the least amount of, and then X and Y I don't remember a ton about. But
yeah.
So this is where I kind of had fallen off. I definitely bought it, definitely played a ton of it, but
it's
cool. It's happening.
I fell off with Gen 3. I remember getting Sapphire, and then I lost it, or it was taken, or something. I don't remember what happened. Point is, I never finished Gen 3, and the only other game that I have finished since then was X and Y. I did play all the way through that. And I've bought every one of them since then, despite, like, the last two telling myself, like, no, I'm not getting it. And I'm not going to do it. And then Pokemon Shield hit, and everybody was like, oh, no, this is great. We're all playing it. And then I was like, okay, yeah, you guys... all right, it sounds like a lot of fun. And I grabbed it, and I'm like, yeah, this is a lot of fun. And then I quit out, like, Gym 6 or 7. So I'm not buying this game, damn it.
Yes,
not going to do it.
You're
Later
going to
this
do
year,
it.
we'll see.
No.
There's going to be a steelbook.
But look how pretty they are.
No.
Look at how cute and chibi everything is.
No.
Which, is that a plus for you? Do you like the art style?
I could... one way or the other, I don't really care.
Okay. I know a lot of people are real upset because they were hoping it was going to be like Nintendo Switch graphics, not like stylized Pokemon graphics. And I get that. Like, I understand. Like, hey, Nintendo has this hardware. You can make the games look better. And they haven't really, so that's kind of a bummer. But at the same time, like, stylistically, I guess that makes sense. Like, sure, I was really bummed that Sword and Shield looks like Sword and Shield. But for this one, I care less. Maybe it's because we've already gotten Sword and Shield. And we saw, like, what they want for Pokemon is different than what I want for Pokemon. And accepting that kind of... It's like, okay, whatever.
It lessens the blow a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just... not going to get it. Not going to do it.
I mean, you're probably going to get it, but...
Nope. The other thing was Pokemon Legends Arceus. Don't give me that look, Ace of Grey.
I don't want to be as excited for this as I am.
I don't know what it is.
Because
it's like the new Let's Go.
I know it's... This is like how I should be reacting to the Mortal Kombat movie. Of, oh wow, they're actually giving us this. Because it looks like it's an open world RPG Pokemon, which is what we've wanted since Grand Theft Auto 3 came out. And we're like, I'm sorry, what? An open world can be what? Oh, put Pokemon in that immediately. And they just never did until now. And so
Yeah, because we had like that open world area-ish in Sword and Shield.
Wild area, I don't count.
Yeah, no, that's why I said ish. Like, it was almost an open world thing where you could actually run into other players, and that was really cool. But, yeah, it's not the same. And, yeah, I mean, this looks a little bit like it. It's got, the 3 starters are really interesting, because they're reusing, starters. Apparently this is going to take place in the Sinnoh region, and will be, I guess, I don't know if it's long before Diamond and Pearl, or just right before, but it's a significant prequel to that storyline.
I got the impression that it was pretty far in the distant past.
That's the impression that I got as well.
I've seen people speculate that like there's not going to be Pokemon centers because they haven't been like established yet, or maybe this is like the era where this Pokemon centers and the Pokemarts and all of that are actually built and started and things like that. So it's not going to be a traditional 8-gym Elite Four champion Pokemon game. And it also, like, if you haven't seen the trailer, the player character is actually, like, in an open world. They see a Pokemon and they just throw a Pokeball at it. Like, I'm real curious to see how any of this works. And I am trying desperately to keep my expectations in check, because I know it may not necessarily be what I'm really hoping it's going to. And I need to be okay with that.
Yeah, no, this is another one of those games that, like, I'm gonna, like, everybody around me is gonna buy it. And then
like, you are.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, that looks fun. That looks super cool. And then I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna be like, why? Why did I do this to myself again?
Because it's super cool.
But I won't like it.
It could be. We need to hear a lot more about it, because all we really got was the trailer. We got it's going to be before Diamond. It's, before the mainline Pokemon games, and judging by the names, it's going to feature heavily Arceus. Poke God.
The Poke God. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, we're going to have to wait to see more about it, because it looks almost like Breath of the Wild Pokemon, and yeah.
Which is exactly what we wanted Sword and Shield to be.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the starters are it's like Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and what was the blue starter? Oshawott. So, yeah, I mean, that's some all-star starters that aren't Gen 1.
Mm-hmm. My baby Rowlet's back.
You hate Rowlet.
I know, but then I played all the way through, and I ended up loving Rowlet.
Because he evolved eventually and stopped turning his head around?
Yeah, that helped a whole lot. It really did.
Yeah, you're a weird dude.
I'm sorry.
Coward. He's a coward.
I don't want my Pokemon to be able to 180 turn its head and tell me, yes, I will kill for you. Like, I don't want that to be a thing.
I don't think he ever says that.
Yeah.
We don't know what his little cry means. It could be.
Well,
What he actually says isn't, I will kill for you. He's, I dream of doing this to you.
That's just as bad, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
It's just as bad. It's not worse. Seems like that should probably be worse.
No, it's
it
not
should
worse.
be, but this is Dalton.
That's true.
All right, have you seen this?
So this is old news at this point, but I needed to talk about it because I want it. I need it now. Give me now, please.
Yeah.
Diablo 2 Resurrected was announced.
Diablo.
So I know a lot of you have heard this story before. And if you haven't, or if you have, I'm sorry, but Diablo 2 is one of the first games that I got truly obsessed with. Like, truly obsessed with. It was I started playing it my freshman year of high school. Me and my little brother both got super into it. And we moved from Colorado to Missouri basically at the very beginning. Like, school ended, and the next day we moved to Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Jake and I knew nobody. I couldn't drive yet. Like, we lived far enough, like, out on the outskirts of town that we couldn't go anywhere. So outside of our parents driving us to the movie theater and the swimming pool, we didn't really have anything to do. So we played Diablo for an entire summer. Like, we woke up, we played Diablo, then we went to sleep. And then we repeated it the next day. I loved that game. I was so obsessed with that game. And so was my little brother. And I sent him this news, and he's excited about it too. This is Diablo 2. Like, everything that was in Diablo 2 is coming over. They went through, like, anything that anybody has built a workaround around. Like, if players are doing something that they've discovered a workaround, they have implemented that change where players no longer need to work around it. Like, this is a love note to the fans, and hopefully an apology for how bad Warcraft 3 was, because this is just it's a retexture on top of the old game's skeleton. And I'm here for it. I want it. I need it now.
Did you
Please.
see the news that came out
The saves
week?
carry over?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, the computer I played Diablo 2 on is long gone.
Okay. I wasn't sure how that was. I didn't know how that was going to work, so.
Yeah, plus, like, the characters were actually stored via your Battle.net account, which the Battle.net account was different than the Battle.net accounts are now. They were tied to the serial number, and yeah, it was weird. It was weird the way it worked, and I've long since lost access to all of those. So, yeah. All my old, like, super epically geared characters. I mean, I'm sure they've been deleted by now anyway, because they had a system in place where, like, if a character was inactive for so long, it got deleted, like gear and all. Which, yeah, that's a huge bummer.
But hey,
that's fine. I'll start the grind anew.
I was going to say, well, now you just get to do it again.
And again.
For each character class. Forever.
And again.
I only need to make 2 characters. It's fine.
Oh, really?
Like, I mean, I had fun with all of them, but for, like, the end game stuff and the stuff that I like to do, I need my Lightning Sorceress and my Hammer Paladin. That's it.
Simple man.
Yeah. A simple man.
I'm excited to play it. I never played any of Diablo 2.
I'm excited to make all of you play it with me.
Because Diablo 3 was the only Diablo game that I ever really got into, because I could play it on console, and then by the time I got a PC that could run things, Diablo 3 actually worked and it was fixed. So we played a little bit of Diablo 3 on, like, I got the platinum trophy on it for PS4.
Yeah. I remember that.
Damn platinum trophy.
Yeah, that burnt you out
bounties.
on doing so many of those bounty quests. Yeah.
So many bounties. Oh, God.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to play that on PC, buddy, you just hit me up. I'll play.
I'm going to wait until 2 comes out again.
That's a safe bet.
That's fair, because I'm going to play that too. And it's probably going to be one of those things where I'll go back to it. It's like, okay, yeah, I did love this game, but there's a lot that I didn't love about this game. That Diablo 3 has done a lot of really good stuff with.
But aren't they going to, like, isn't this going to feature, like, the Loot .0 stuff, or is it...
that I haven't seen.
Okay.
Because my understanding is that it's going to be Diablo 2 as it exists now, but with, like
Diablo
a bunch
3.
of... Yeah, it's going to do a bunch of quality of life improvements and the big graphical overhauls.
Okay. Because I assumed, like, part of the quality of life stuff would be the whole...
The loot system?
You're not going to get loot for a character that you're not using actively, or, you know...
That would be...
We aren't going to have to fight over exotic gear and stuff like that.
That would be delightful, but almost certainly not the way it's going to work. And the way that gear, like getting yourself geared in Diablo 2 worked, it was a constant, like, hard grind. Like a real hard grind. And if map hacks aren't a thing, then it's going to make it even more of a bummer. And I'm not talking about, like, for, you know, getting gear where you can just do stuff. I'm talking about, like, for getting, like, the super best gear in the game, because all the stats are randomized, and, like, you need very specific types of items. And it gets to a min-maxing point where if you get, like, a better piece of gear that requires different stats, because in Diablo 2 you actually manually applied, like, your strength, intelligence, and all that stuff every time you leveled up. You would re-roll characters, because, like, if you were running a sorceress, for example, you only wanted exactly enough strength to carry your gear. You didn't want any more than that because it's wasted stats. So if you got something that required less strength than what you were running, you needed to make a new sorceress.
That does not sound even remotely fun.
Oh, it was to me.
And I need you to remember that I enjoy the looter-shooter style, you know, dungeon crawling stuff up until the end game. That's when I get bored.
Yeah, so you stop enjoying the loop at that point.
Yes, because I don't have anything to go for. It's why I never went back to Borderlands. Because even though there's, like, DLC and stuff, it's just like, okay, but I don't... Why should I continue to level up this character? So you can get stronger guns. Okay, but, like,
but
what do I do? Do the stuff you've already done. But now it's harder. Except it's not really, because you have stronger stuff, so you're just repeating the process. Except the numbers are just going up.
Mm-hmm.
And that isn't super interesting to me. So it's like right now, I'm replaying through the Division 2. And I understand that, one, I probably won't finish it again, because I have no one to play with. But even if I did, like, I'm not grinding towards the raid. Like, I'm not trying to start, you know, just rerunning the same stuff just because that's... I like those games until I finish them. And then it's just like, okay, I don't want to have to do this. It's why Avengers is, like, such a miss for me. The single-player stuff, the campaign was great. But I have not touched the Kate Bishop stuff. And now they're making it harder to level up and get to max level.
That's the opposite of what you want to do.
Yeah, especially when you don't have endgame content, because they still don't have a raid. They still don't have their clone labs or whatever it was called. Their answer to not having any endgame content seems to not be add endgame content. It seems to be make it harder for people to get to max level. Slow them down from getting to where they are ready for endgame.
But you can't be upset about no endgame if you can't get to endgame.
And that's...
Modern problems require modern solutions.
So, but Hawkeye comes out, I think it's like on the 16th or something like that. It's relatively soon.
Because that's also when the PS5 patch drops.
Yeah, so whenever the next-gen patches drop is when we're getting Clint Barton, is when those changes roll out. So, and it's not power level, because that's what's decided by your gear. It's your character level, which is what you have to do to unlock all of the rest of the abilities. And all of the variations of their abilities. And that's so dumb. I hate that. And it's the same kind of thing with, like, Diablo, to be that specific about things. Like, No, thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to let me mash the button that sends the spinning hammers around me, that when it hits something, more hammers spin out until my screen is hammers and nothing but glowy hammers. Spin to win, baby. Give me that. Just...
Oh, you could just be a whirlwind barbarian. They literally spin to win.
Yes, and that's what I want to do. I don't want to think too hard. I want to mash buttons until I make...
There's a rune word that you can get in Diablo 2 that gives any character teleport. And that's just hilarious on a barbarian, because you tell a whirlwind. It's like you teleport on top of somebody and immediately start whirlwinding. And it's hilarious. So, like, the reason you do that kind of, like, in-game stuff in Diablo 2, like, it actually had PvP. But if you don't like PvP stuff, then, yeah, you're not gonna like it. But me and my little brother really liked PvP back in the day, so we did a lot of that in Diablo 2. And, yeah, PvP is fun, especially when you start getting, like, those rune words and some of the other, like, nonsense mechanics and stuff like that. There's a lot of fun stuff to do in-game, like, for grinding for your characters, but then there's some other stuff that's not so fun. That's an actual legitimate grind. Like, trying to find the resources to summon, like, Uber Diablo so that you can get, like, an Annihilus charm is fun-ish. The fight with Diablo is fun.
See, but you also have to keep in mind, you're not going to have 12 hours of the day to dedicate to doing that.
Oh, I'm aware. And I know that this is going to end up being just a few days worth of, like, nostalgia farming for me. And then I'll be like... I am an adult with a job and a girlfriend. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. She's understanding.
I'm sure she is to a point, and I don't want to find that point.
Fair.
I'm glad I assumed Dalton was going to go with the junkie route of, well, no, get her hooked too, and then she can't say boo.
Oh, she...
You know, I'm very disappointed that I didn't think of that.
But I assumed off of the story you had told me previously that she would not be touching this game.
Nope, she would probably never touch another Diablo game ever again.
Yeah.
She lost her entire Blizzard account because of Diablo 3, Dalton.
Oh, F those people.
Back when, like,
yeah. Activision's not good people.
No.
We know this.
No, they're not. Okay. The last couple little things here, looks like Final Fantasy VII Remake's getting ported to PlayStation 5. They're calling it Intergrade, and they're adding a little bit of story to it, I guess. When I first saw this, I actually thought this was the announcement for Part 2 of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it is, from the looks of it, just the port. And that's coming out June 10th.
And it's super important to note right now, that is the free game of the month for PS4.
It's also very important to note that the PS5 edition is not included in the PS4 PS Plus game.
Yeah, you'll have to
rebuy it. Even if you own, like, the remake, you have to rebuy it for PS5.
I think if you bought it, you get the PS5 update, but if you are getting it as the PS4 game of the month, it will not include that. You will have to buy the PS5 upgrade for.
Well, that's kind of cool.
I thought was how that went, but...
Which, like... That's pretty smart, because if somebody just gets it and they're like a couple hours and then they were like, well, I'm definitely going to love this.
Yeah.
So it's pretty smart.
Alright, then let's see. Bethesda announces Doom 3 VR edition. So, yeah, something there's already a mod for like Oculus Quest apparently, where you can just play Doom in VR, but now you can legitimately play it on PlayStation VR.
That's going to be a hard pass for me, homie. Things jump out too much.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna conclude the show now with a very spoilery discussion of WandaVision, because I think everybody here has seen it, and I want to talk about it. So we're gonna talk about it on air. So if you don't want WandaVision spoiled at all, peace out. We love you. We'll talk to you later. Make sure you hit us up on Facebook.com/Podzilla1985, Patreon.com/Podzilla1985. All that good stuff. Thank you so much for listening. I think I've given you enough time to get to your device to turn it off.
We're definitely going to start spoiling stuff out.
And now we're going to start spoiling WandaVision. I'm so sorry if you were still struggling to get to your device.
Obviously, you should have been able to at least hit mute or turn the volume down.
Right.
So.
WandaVision.
There we go.
Holy crap, this show was great, right?
Son of a
It was
bitch!
Agatha all along.
Oh, that song was so good.
You know who wrote it, right?
No.
Agatha.
It was the same person. Shut up. It was the same person that wrote Let It Go, or the same team that wrote Let It Go. So those people only write bangers. Because there's so many times I'm at Target just in front of toys. Just, let it go, let it. It's in my head. I barely know the movie, but I know that song.
Zero. Ralph Boner.
All right, that was bad.
Isn't it Nathan Boner?
No, it was
No,
Ralph.
it was Ralph.
It is Ralph. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting Ralph to be the bunny. I was like, oh, that's going to be her husband. He's going to transform into something.
I desperately need Ralph to be the guy in witness protection that Jimmy was looking for.
There's no way.
What do you mean there's no way? Why is there no way?
Dude, that dude was an aspiring actor. They're not going to let somebody that's trying to be an aspiring actor in witness protection.
Or maybe that was just part of his witness protection.
Just try to get famous.
Yeah, why would there be why would there be an aspiring actor in Nowheresville, New Jersey?
Because he's dumb. And we've established that he's kind of dumb.
Or maybe that was just... Nah, I don't know.
Honestly, we're arguing about the wrong thing here because he's clearly not any sort of MCU, X-Men,
he's not
like
Peter.
Fox movie tie-in.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that he was the witness protection. He is from another universe, and they put him there in New Jersey, and his name is actually Peter Maximov or whatever, and he's from another universe. Because if Marvel just gave us that, like, hey, look, I'm gonna be mad. I'm already mad. I'm just... Because I'm mad that it's probably just that. It was just a fun nod.
And that was... They had to have known.
Oh, they did.
What they were doing.
They did, and then they made the Kick-Ass reference. Because Wanda...
That was good.
That
was cute.
I did too. And I was like, all right, yeah, that's cute. I like this. And then, yeah, fucking... Oh, my God. That made me mad when I saw that he was just some brainwashed dude. I was like, son of a... Because I was already upset when I thought he was just like a crystal golem or whatever Agatha said he was.
Yeah.
And then it turns out like he's actually a dude that was there that she just has under her control.
Are you excited, though, for Wanda to be the big bad in Avengers 5?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to go that deep. I think she's going to be the big bad in Doctor Strange.
Or I think she's going to unleash the big bad in Doctor Strange.
Because we already got that tease that you don't know what you've done by seemingly accepting her role
as
using chaos magic as the Scarlet Witch. Something is coming. Obviously, it's got to be Mephisto.
Yes.
And I think that because that weird post-credit scene where she's like living in the cabin in the woods, but then she's also reading from the Book of the Damned or whatever it was.
The Darkhold, yeah.
The Darkhold. That's going to corrupt her. There's no way about it.
Also, it's super important to note that she was and I haven't watched Doctor Strange, but I've seen enough that Doctor Strange was only able to do that when he was sleeping. Like, he was only able to astral project himself while he was occupied. Isn't that the whole thing on that? Is they have to be, like, not able to be conscious to be able to, like, do that projection thing?
I mean, like, they can't...
I don't know if that's what she was doing, though.
Are you sure? Because it really looked like it. Because it looked like she was just living in wherever the hell that was. And then, like, in the back, she was just astral projecting her studying up on the Darkhold.
I also guess I missed an extra after-credits scene.
There were two in the finale.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we didn't see the second one.
Oh, okay. So what it is it's a slow zoom in on this cabin in the middle of the woods in, like, a mountain area. And it's Wanda in just sweats and plain comfy clothes. And you hear a tea kettle go. She gets up off the porch, goes inside, removes the kettle, starts making a cup. But then the camera keeps going, and you see this red glow in, like, a back room. And she's floating in full Scarlet Witch attire, psychic, like, reading the Darkhold. So they're both happening simultaneously. And then you hear one of the twins, or I think you might hear both of them, call out for Mom. So
that's what I did. That's exactly what I did, Jesse, and I watched it.
So my theory on this is that is Mephisto. Her children are gone. There's no, and they're done and they're gone. And Mephisto is going to use them to make a bargain of I honestly thought, again, I let myself believe, and nothing bad happens when I do that. I thought she was going to realize she was strong enough to keep them and make them all real outside of the Hex.
Right.
Which didn't happen. So I think Mephisto is going to either tell her that he can give her that power, or he will do it for her in exchange for freeing him, whatever.
Yeah, Mephisto's always making deals that are not great for you.
Exactly. So and then Vader-y. That goes awry and something bad happens. So that's what I would think.
And then, because I remember being extremely disappointed with the first post-credits. I was like, really, that's it? That's all we got for the post-credits?
Oh,
which one was the first post-credits?
The Skrulls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they didn't spend a lot of time with Monica in that finale, which really sucked, because it's like, she's awesome, and you've done nothing to really explain her powers other than she can absorb bullets, like the energy about them. I was really hoping we were going to get like a badass fight between her and
Vision,
of either Vision or fake Peter.
Yeah, that would have been awesome too.
And we didn't get either of that, because I thought this was going to be like a showcase to really show what she can do, what her abilities are, and we didn't get that at all. And then it was just like, cool, you get to go back to space. That's
Captain Marvel 2 is going to be amazing.
But again, this is Wanda's story, so I don't fault it too much there.
I am a little upset
I definitely
about
think that that post credit scene definitely is leading to Wanda will be a villain, because again, like that town clearly did not forgive her.
No, and I don't blame them, because apparently they were in excruciating pain the whole time.
Absolutely, like I don't blame. Like she is the bad guy to those people. And I think she's going to kind of embrace that. Not like where she wants to be evil, but she's going to do what she has to do for her family. And
because that was one of those scenes that was just like, everything about it was phenomenal. When Agatha's like bringing people back, and she brings back Dot, and Dot just walks up to her, is like, "Listen, my daughter, can she be?" Like, is it okay if she interact with your kids in some way? Like, maybe she's a bully in school. Like, please, I just want to see my daughter. And it's like, oh, that's heartbreaking. And you can just see, like, Caitlin Olsen, like, the heartbreak.
Or
Elizabeth Olsen. Caitlin Olsen is D.
When the mom from that 70s show, Deborah Jo Rupp, when she is like, if you won't let us go, at least let us die.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, ugh.
The one person that's not like a major character that deserves an acting award is Asif Ali, who was Norm. And I don't remember which episode it was, but whenever Vision touched his head, and he was going from that 1990s caricature into instant freakout back into the caricature in like 45-second span most. I watched that and I looked at Sadie and I was like, that motherfucker deserves like an Oscar, an Emmy, maybe a Grammy or two. I don't care. He deserves everything for that one scene.
He gets the whatever awards were left over from Catherine Hahn not getting awards.
Oh my God, she was also amazing.
Yes.
Like,
it's because you talk about somebody like she did that multiple times, where she just like turned everything over on a dime.
But it was that one. It was just such a like stark change 3 times in a row in a short time that I was like, that was insane and amazing, and I hope he only had to do that like once or twice.
Yeah, no, Catherine Hahn did the same thing. Remember, Vision hit her in the car.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't like, I don't know, it's the whole thing, because like whenever I watched that one, I saw right through what she was doing. Now, granted, Catherine Hahn did an amazing job acting that, but Agnes or whatever she was at that moment, I was like, oh yeah, no, she's very much playing a part. But I was like, the Norm one felt like as real as it could have been. Like, that shit was really happening to him. Whereas the Agnes one, I was like, oh, yeah, that what didn't work on her. Like, she knew it was going to happen. Whereas like the Norm one, like that felt so organic. I'm being weird. I really am. I'm sorry.
I feel like Dalton's just trying to be like, nah, I saw Agnes coming the whole time.
I knew.
No, I really did. Like, it was one of those where I was like, I didn't see it until about whenever the boys started like aging in the '90s episode or the '80s episode, whichever one that was. I was like,
Dalton
she's
cutting
the
out
villain.
for you, Asa?
He did, but he's back now.
Yeah, like I very much saw it coming. Whenever she was holding the dead dog, my thought was she killed that dog. I don't know why I thought that, but like Sadie was even like, yeah, no, she's not on the up and up.
I do like Ciro's idea. Like, that was something I was thinking she was going to try to do, and just in general, is find a multiverse where they exist, and that was going to be like, basically, I was thinking that Evan Peters was going to be like it's a Quicksilver from a different universe, and then Wanda comes to that realization that like, okay, so if Peter lives in, or if Pietro lives in other universes and can come here, my kids can too, and then brings like Speed and Wiccan over from another universe. But yeah, I don't.
Kids, you take care of the military. Sadie and I looked at each other like we knew some awesome shit was about to happen, and it did. That whole last, like, that was amazing. I could have used more of it, but I don't know how long that finale was. I think we should have gotten an extra hour of... It was 50. We should have gotten an extra hour of show. Like, between...
I like your powers. I like yours, too.
That was so good.
That was fun.
That was
yeah, because that was like, she saved them, but he was like, unnecessary, but appreciate it.
Yeah, like, that was a cool trick. I had it under control.
So... I don't remember if I said this to Jesse or Dalton on Facebook, but so what happened to White Vision?
Yeah, I have
he
an
just
issue with
fucked
that.
off
Go
into
ahead.
nothing.
Because my idea was, so they have the like out AI'd each other, which reminded me of that episode of Rick and Morty in the latest season. Yeah, you only think that because I programmed you to think that. You only think that because I programmed you to think that. Like. Are you the ship of Theseus memes going everywhere? But so that happens. Vision realizes, oh, I am Vision, because they took my memories, and then Vision gave Vision his memories back, and his directive is to destroy the Vision. So then he just flies away, and he doesn't say anything. And I was like, okay, so like, is he just flying his ass into the sun to destroy himself, because that's what Wanda's vision convinced him that that's what his programming needed to do. But we got nothing. There was no... So, or is it going to be he gets all of his memories back, and then he goes back to Wanda? Do that. Go back to Wanda. You love Wanda.
Yeah, that was...
Wanda should be together.
That was the one issue I had, that Vision is the smartest being in the MCU. Because he's a computer. Like, there's no bounds to his knowledge.
He has all of human knowledge.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair.
he
is the
Which
smartest...
is very, very smart, but I don't know if he's not, like, omniscient.
Okay, that's fair.
where he
I forget
knows
there's
everything.
sorcerers and shit, so yeah, you're right. My bad.
Plus,
But,
there
like-
are some like truly exceptionally intelligent people in the MCU.
Fair. Anyway,
Like Tony
so he's a
Stark and
really...
Bruce
He's a
Banner.
really... Well, he's dead. So, no. Bruce
Maybe.
Banner, I concede.
There's some theories about that.
Anyway...
Those theories are wrong.
Anyway, you think that, like, in the 4 minutes of the Hex closing in, he would have been like, by the way, I totally put my thoughts in that White Vision, so, like, if you miss me that much, it's the same guy. And he just didn't. And I was like...
Yeah, but that's not what happened, and he may also, like, know that now that's a separate person. It's like the thing that pissed me off watching The Good Place, and sorry we're going to get into Good Place spoilers here, but when Chidi is like, actually, all of those memories of a different me aren't actually me. Those are someone else, so I don't have to believe them. And it's like, no, fuck you.
Because, see, my thought was he just put his memories in his old body. Because that's all it was. He just put those memories in his old body.
He restored his memories, that, everything that he had, up to being in the Hex.
So he still loves Wanda.
I mean, yeah, but, like, Vision didn't really...
But
Wanda...
that was the whole point of the scene, though.
Yeah.
Is that the same Vision? Is that actually him? or because it was the shell, it was the original body that they decided to give a super matte white finish to.
That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, they whitewashed Vision for some reason.
And then it was, okay, so I'm not even real, because I was also loved that reveal of she didn't steal him.
Yeah,
that was
like she just straight up created
him. He lied
him.
about that, and she just created him out of grief, essentially, grief and chaos magic.
Yeah.
And the Mind Stone fragment.
Yeah, and the Mind Stone fragment, which I didn't think was real, because I'm pretty sure the stones were all destroyed.
No,
the fragment happened before the stones were destroyed, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean that's how Wanda got her powers in the first place. Like Wanda and Pietro got their powers from the Mind Stone.
So she retained a piece of the Mind Stone. Okay, because I thought the Mind Stone was complete whenever it was yanked out of his head. I didn't think she still had a part of it actually with her. I thought that was just a line.
I mean, it's just like power from the Mind Stone, basically. Like,
okay, so it wasn't the actual Mind Stone. It was just the power she received from the Mind Stone. Yeah. It's like Captain Marvel got her power from the Tesseract.
Yes.
But now that the Tesseract's gone, it doesn't nullify what happened there.
Right.
That makes more sense than her actually having, like, something physical of the stone. But, anyway. So she creates this vision, but it's not... I don't know. It's really weird. And I think that might be the point, is we're not supposed to know if it is for sure. Like, okay, no, that's just, they restored Vision. They brought him back to life. And then her Vision that she created out of nothingness that is now gone again just was like, no, this is who you were. You need to remember this because they took that from you.
Quick time. My friend Trishina, Zoe Moore in the professional wrestling world, she just sent me a text. I got her to watch WandaVision over the last week, and I think she just got to the end of the Agatha All Along. Yup. She said, "What the fuck, Agatha?" And I'm like, I'm assuming the song. She's like, "Why the fuck did she kill Sparky?" That just
because
happened.
She wanted to see because she wanted to see the extent of Wanda's powers. Because I also kind of like that she was... Because I think I messaged Dalton about it, of not understanding, like... Hang on, why is she even there? Was she already in Westview? No, she saw this like, oh, there's this tremendous magic that just happened.
Yeah.
I need to go investigate that.
Because we were having a conversation about how her lair worked, and I'm like, that was a portal. That had to have been a portal, because there's no other way it would have worked.
Yeah, it could have been. But, so, the whole... I like that idea of just like, she's like, curious. What else can you do? So, can you bring the dead back to life? Is that what you did with Vision? Because she knew the history of the Avengers, like that's worldwide news. So there was like, okay, did you actually revive him, or how does this work? So I'm gonna kill your dog, bring the dog back to life, because can you bring the dog back to life?
Yeah, no, there was.
And then she had the gall to tell her children, "Nope, what is dead has to stay dead. Now go say hi to dead dad. I mean, dad."
Be ready to meet dead uncle. I mean, boner.
Yeah, but she didn't do that one.
Well, no.
Well, she didn't know that she didn't do that one. Because she spent that whole time like,
yeah, that's true.
Did I? Because she didn't know how she did Vision.
So
that's true too. Yeah.
Real quick aside question: when her and Vision had that first fight and he was like, "No, you can't control me like you're controlling everyone else," and she said, "What? Do you think I am scripting all of these people's lives? Like I'm scheduling their dentist appointments?" Was she? Did it turn out that she actually was?
Yeah.
Or was that Agatha also pulling the strings, like, helping guide everything
No, because that was
along?
something Agatha specifically mentioned. Like, you can do this stuff, but, like, it takes an extreme amount of, like, concentration and will and all this other stuff, and, like, and a pretty intense spell. Like, when But she was doing it all. Like, she was, like, having these people go where they needed to go and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, we did also know that the further away from Wanda, the less, like, they actually did.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I was like, no, we saw that whole thing with Vision where they were just fucking NPCs in a video game in a dev room. Where they were just...
Yeah, and crying about it.
Because
that was insane.
Because they've just been in the excerpts making that motion for months. It reminded me of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, the Purple Man stuff.
Why are you standing there? Because I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Standing here for like days.
And, like, Sadie knows this. I've told her how I felt about the show as a whole. I absolutely loved it. But, like, her favorite character is Vision. So, like, she really loves Scarlet Witch, too. And so she was, like, hook, line, and sinker the whole time for the show. She loves it. Loved it start to finish. I like Vision. I like Scarlet Witch. But I did not care about them in the MCU. They did not give me enough to care about. They gave me a little bit in Infinity War and then ruined it by killing both of them. Perma-killing Vision, but then the dusting of Scarlet Witch. Or Wanda. And, like... They gave me one movie where I really.
But you can call her Scarlet Witch now. She has the code name.
Well, but she wasn't at the time. Like that's. But yeah,
right. I just want to say real quick, like that was. I think that was a great way to give her code name. I really
that
like
was
how
really
they did
cool. That. But I didn't really care about these two characters, and they made me absolutely care just to pull one of them back off the table. Like there was a small glimmer of Ace of Hope around episode 4 and 5 where I'm like, they're gonna find a way to keep Vision around. And granted, they have a way to keep a version of Vision around, but it's not the same thing.
I mean, it might be. We don't know exactly what's going down with that.
And that fucking line. I know you said we could cuss, so I immediately feel bad about that.
But I've dropped so many of them.
That line of, we've said goodbye so many times before, it stands to reason we will say hello again.
That was a really good line!
Dagger! Like,
Dude.
I know everyone was losing their mind over what is grief but love persevering. Like, cool. But that it stands to reason we will say hello again.
Shelby was bawling. I was visibly upset. It was...
that one
bad.
got me. That one did get me. Because it's like, man, you have these characters that you do that are fun, and they did such a good job. Because I don't disagree with Dalton entirely. Like, you really didn't give them as a unit... like not necessarily even a family unit, but as a couple, a ton to work with in the MCU, especially after Age of Ultron. So these episodes of like, the more I think about it, because I didn't love the previously on episode, the penultimate one, where it was her going through and reliving all of these terrible.
There was a couple of things about that
life,
that I really liked.
And it was good, but it was just like, it was what I was talking about in those first episodes of, I'm an impatient piece of crap. I have been conditioned that give me everything now.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, so stuff is happening. This is all being very, very well done. And Olsen, I never remember her first name. Elizabeth Olsen is killing this, and Catherine Hahn is killing this. But just give me everything. Tell me is Mephisto showing up? And I also think the internet kind of ruined. I think if the internet hadn't been allowed to speculate so much, that I think this would be more widely received as great, because a lot of people let their expectations get ahead of them.
Are there people that didn't like this?
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of people who are very upset that Reed Richards did not show up.
Oh my god.
Or that Magneto did not show up. Like, because they assumed this was going to be, as soon as they saw Evan Peters, this was going to be the thing that linked this introduced mutants.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong. I am still upset about Evan Peters.
Yeah, Ralph Boner was definitely a letdown. But
they're upset Sir Ian
McKellen?
Ian McKellen didn't show up as, actually, I am your father.
Yeah.
Like, because people are stupid.
John Krasinski was all over this show, though. It's a really good Office joke. Okay.
He deserves so much better than to be known as Asian Jim still.
I know.
Holy crap. Let it die. Have you seen his interview about it? He forgot he did The Office until someone came up and was like, "Oh, it's Asian Jim," and he was like, "Is this a racist thing? Is this a new racist thing that people that are calling me that?" Because he forgot he did it.
I will say, no. Jimmy Woo is probably my favorite side character.
They better give him that damn X-Files show.
That was he was so much fun in that, because you really got to see the goofy Ant-Man version of him for the first 2 episodes he was in, and then a little bit of shit pops off, and he knocks out 2 motherfuckers in a row.
Yeah, no, he shows
I forget he's an FBI agent,
like a legit FBI agent too.
Yeah,
him and Kat Dennings.
Oh my god, Kat Dennings!
Put her in the show with him. Have fun in prison.
I was so happy that Darcy was back in this, because I love Darcy.
Yeah,
that. That's a great
the
character.
funnel cake truck spot. I looked at Sadie and I was like, I forgot Darcy was still on the board, and she was like, I didn't. I knew it was coming, and I was like, I went to live in your world where you knew that was gonna happen because I was floored by it. And then have fun in prison. It's just like she needed a better send off. Like she should have done something in the debriefing thing, like in that post credit. I did love the whole Darcy said debriefings are for the weak. I was like, okay, that's something she would have done. But yeah, no, she was awesome. There's no like. There is one 4-minute spot where they explain that Quicksilver he wasn't Quicksilver. That's 4 minutes in 3+ hours of media that I didn't love. Everything else was home run. There's literally, I cannot, and it's not even a new movie because it was over the course of weeks for me, that I was like, no, they really just knocked it out of the park. I can't.
And yeah, Zero, she was stuck at that same red light until Wanda started letting people free. That's my theory on it.
Yeah, that's it. Honestly, it's probably correct.
That was an amazing scene too, of Vision just being like, why am I sitting in this truck?
Why am I still here? And he was doing like the office, like, stuff, like filming. He's like, wait, what am I doing? Whee!
Yeah, I gotta go get... Yeah. Like, again, there's like, I can't think of any nitpicky stuff. That's not the speculation. Like, yeah, it would have been cool, like, the astrophysicist that that Monica said she knew. Like, that would have been cool for it to be, like, Reed or Sue. But I didn't need that. Like, I didn't need it. I didn't need Magneto there. Like, they did just enough. The Ralph Boner is, like, the one thing I didn't like.
Because they definitely, like, they teased us on a lot of stuff. And it was like, yeah, but that was just a fun nod.
Yeah, like, it's fine.
I don't necessarily... I'm torn because I'm also a hypocrite because, like, we've had the discussion of, like, how much they put in trailers. Like, I still stand by the fact that I truly believe they should not have put Spider-Man in the Civil War trailer. But I need them to get to mutants sooner rather than later.
Yes.
We know it's an inevitability. It's going to happen. And I either want them to just be like, hey, it's coming. We know what we're doing. And you can look for that here. But at the same time, I kind of want to be blindsided by it. I kind of want them to just be like, oh dip. Like, did Wanda actually use her latent abilities to keep the bomb from exploding when she was a child?
Yes.
Like, is she a mutant? But then also, like, with the enhancement through the Mind Stone... now she actually is the Scarlet Witch.
Well, see, I think they were pretty clear with her not being a mutant. She was just a witch.
Yeah, I know, but it's that thing of just like they coulda.
That's true.
Because like, okay, so now there are. What's the difference between are witches not mutants? Like, why is it?
I mean, I wouldn't.
Why is it?
Because even in the Marvel universe, witches are different than mutants.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I've never accepted that because I also don't read a ton of stuff that involves witches, but it's always just like, no, it's magic and mutations are different, and I get that it's like the Force basically, but
holy shit, yeah, Zero, I dig that. Turns out WandaVision was a Mojo TV show. It's like that was airing on Mojo TV.
That would be cool.
Oh my.
Right?
It took me a second.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
That hits for me.
Nah, yeah, I dig it. Heard it here first. From superfan Ciro Villegas.
Maybe future criminal if the transcripts of the chat ever get out.
I'll be right there with them, I guess.
I do hope that Disney and Disney Plus learn from this and they no longer air, like when Winter Soldier and Falcon starts in a week or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That we do not.
A week from this Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope that doesn't air at midnight on Thursday. Like, put it up at like 4 on Friday. Because that show airs at midnight on Thursday. The full episode is spoiled at 12:01.
Yeah, I cannot allow myself to go onto Reddit until I get home Friday night.
I've stayed off my phone. I stayed off my phone on Friday. I was like, nope.
And don't get me wrong, like, I genuinely think a lot of people... I'm worried that Winter Soldier and Falcon is going to be too different from WandaVision. because WandaVision had that air of mystery around it, and I just don't see where. Like, I think this is going to be more of a buddy cop show.
Yep, it's going to be people getting punched in the face.
There's not going to be as much room for speculation and theories and stuff like that. So I'm hoping people like accept it for what it is. I'm very excited for it. Just don't air it. Like, wait until people are like out of school and off of work. Like, drop it 7 p.m. Friday night.
Let me say, every Saturday morning until that show's done, I'm gonna say, you see, whenever Falcon punched that dude, and that's all that show needs to be for me. And if it's that, home run out of the park, because like these characters needed this show. Yeah. Falcon and Winter Soldier don't need that. You know what they need? Cool shit. That's it.
I mean, we're gonna get it.
Yeah, Fast and Furious Marvel Edition. That's what this show needs to be from start to end.
All right, guys.
No, I want it to be good.
We've been on this for a half hour. It's time to call it.
Yep.
We gotta call this show here because I got the stuff I need to do.
I need to eat.
All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for being with us live. If you were here on Facebook, again, facebook.com/Podzilla1985. We're doing all of our shows live now, so make sure to look us up there. Check it out. And yeah, patreon.com/Podzilla1985. Thank you, Asa and Dalton, for joining us. See y'all next time. All right, we out.